Welcome back, everybody. My name is Turtle. This is Outlier Fantasy, and yet again, another iteration of Mock Draft Monday. I'm not going to tell you that I've been in this lobby for over 10 minutes because I have been in this lobby for over 10 minutes, and we're still waiting on two more people. I was going to wait until I had a full lobby to go live, but we're already past 8 o'clock. We're already a little late to the party. So I needed to show up to the party, show some face, say what's going on to all of you lovely viewers at home. Thank you guys so much. If you're tuned in, you're locked in. We're about to mock draft all night. I may lose the power in the middle of the night because there's thunderstorms where I live, but it's okay. We're going to grind, and we're going to get these mock drafts done, as long as I get two more people, of course. If you're at home, you want to play, jump in. We're in a $3 contest. Only need two more people to fill in, and then we can start drafting. Talk to me, guys. What is going on in the world? Talk to me. How we doing? Have one video lined up tomorrow in the afternoon. If you guys want, we can start talking about it a little bit now while waiting for the draft room to fill up. Basically, there are right now, and it's a weird time in the NFL where this year, more specifically, they've changed the amounts of guaranteed money on contracts and stuff like that. Oh, wow, we got the 107. I absolutely love that. That's great. But anyways, back to what I was saying. There are a lot of players that aren't signing their rookie contracts, and they may force themselves to be holding themselves out of training camp. So normally, let's talk about last year. Jamar Chase holds out for a contract. Doesn't really affect him too much because he gets the deal done, signs the dotted line, and he's right back with the team he's been playing with. Not much really to say there. But for somebody like, I don't know, we can just grab two of the running backs that maybe we were going to draft in fantasy with a high draft pick and now maybe not. Travion Henderson and RJ Harvey don't have a contract. If they're going to hold out, that would raise some serious concern for me if I was drafting them. Especially where, let's take a look right now where somebody like RJ Harvey is going. RJ Harvey is the RB21. RJ Harvey is the RB21 right now. And for somebody that you may not even know, like, obviously he's going to sign a contract. We all know that. I'm not trying to be stupid here. But the idea of that he can miss training camp and that could hinder how fast he gets on the field to have a full-time job, that matters. And that's something we need to keep in mind. Thank you, Steve, for joining the chat. I really appreciate you. Definitely needed the update about Cal Raleigh. Appreciate that. Just looking to see if anyone's watching the Home Run Derby at home. You want to fill me in on some round-by-round updates. I would really appreciate that. Let me know who you guys are rooting for at home. I'm rooting for my favorite player, O'Neal Cruz. So, yeah, talk to me. What are we feeling? Who do we like? Who did we bet on? All of those fun things. Let's go. Whoever's spamming the rockets in the chat, I appreciate you. Outlier Fantasy, we taking off. Yes, sir. First three picks off the board. Bijan Robinson, Jamar Chase, and Saquon Barkley. I honestly agreed up until Saquon Barkley over Justin Jefferson. I think Bijan Robinson is the 101. I think Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase need to go back-to-back right after each other. Here I'm going to have an interesting choice. If he doesn't take CeeDee Lamb, I could go Puka Nacua or Christian McCaffrey. O'Neal Cruz, I love that. Love that. Shout out to Oni. Oni the boy. Now I'm just waiting for this guy to make his pick. I'm going to assume CeeDee Lamb. Wow. I'm taking CeeDee Lamb. I never get CeeDee Lamb. At the 107, that's a good start to the draft. I probably should have went Christian McCaffrey, but if I can get a Devon Achane on the way back, that would be sick. Probably not going to happen. But hey, double stack at wide receiver. I'll be looking pretty. I'll be looking pretty in this draft. I already see Steve's got the crown because he's the only one typing in chat. If you want to dethrone this man, take his crown, you better start typing in the chat because he's running away with the lead right now on you guys. Christian McCaffrey is the 108 after I pick. I respect that. Malik Neighbors is a great 109. And it's going to get interesting. We're 8 picks away. Probably not going to get Achane. The best running back available would be Jonathan Taylor. I probably won't take Jonathan Taylor. Drake London is a name that jumps out on the page at me. That's somebody I definitely would be interested in drafting. But we'll see how this draft ends up going. If you guys have any fantasy football questions of your own, now is the time to ask. Feel free to type in the chat. Let's have a conversation. Let's go, boys. If King Tyler is out there, I hope King Tyler can take your crown because he's the only person worthy of taking Good Steven's crown. Let's just be honest with that. Let's keep it a stack for all the people at home watching. Nobody deserves the crown more than Tyler. But hey, anybody has that opportunity right now to make it their crown. That's the beauty of it. Bunch of wide receivers going off the board. One right after the other. Devon Achane. It's a great pick. Great pick. But to leave Ashton Jeanty on the board, that's a little crazy. That has to be like one of the next two picks that comes off the board right now. There should be no reason why we're like past the first two picks of round 2 and nobody's taking Ashton Jeanty. That is wild. Drake London is the next guy available. I am licking my chops at the idea of maybe getting Ashton Jeanty. I probably won't, but that's definitely someone I'm considering. In a PPR, who would be my top 5 ideal picks in order? Assuming we're in a league that's not Underdog and where... Hold on, let me make this pick real quick. I'm sorry, Steve. Lad McConkey. I'm going to go Brock Bowers here. Very rarely do I get a chance to draft him. I'm going to take Brock Bowers. But expand the portfolio a little bit. If I had my first choice, my 101, I want Bijan Robinson. That's just a personal preference for me. In terms of the 5 players, and I guess we'll just say Bijan Robinson because that would be my first pick. The 2 wide receivers after, Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, would be who follows after that. And then I think you have to respect Saquon Barkley, even though maybe I don't love the idea of taking him there. And then Jahmyr Gibbs would probably be my 5th if I had to be honest. I'd probably lean more towards the running backs. I just think there's like a real tier break. Coming from someone who's a big fan of CeeDee Lamb, I think there's a huge tier break in what Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase's ceiling could be versus CeeDee Lamb's ceiling. And it's not to say that CeeDee Lamb isn't as good as them or as good of a fan. Well, he isn't as good of a fantasy player as them. But it's just the idea of CeeDee Lamb is not Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson. That's just what it comes down to. He's just not one of them. And I think those are the 2 wide receivers that if you really wanted to have an advantage in your league, I would also say that those are the only 2 wide receivers really worthy of elevating your team to a whole nother level. When you add a guy like a Jahmyr Gibbs, a Saquon Barkley, a Bijan Robinson with that RB1 overall potential, I think that's a little more valuable than Lamb. But that's personal preference. After I take Brock Bowers, Bucky Irving, Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs, Rashee Rice, and Lad McConkey come off the board. When it comes back to me in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 picks, I'm going to have an interesting decision to make because I've still yet to take a running back, which is very dangerous of me to do. But regardless of the fact, Brock Bowers was way too good of a value to just leave in the middle of the second round, in my opinion. I never get Brock Bowers at, an ADP near his ADP, so I was very happy to grab him there. Trey McBride is a great pick right now. I'm looking at that middling running back tier, and if I can't land like a Breece Hall or a Kyron Williams, then I'm just going to go down and grab James Cook to be safe. I need just stability at running back. So if I can get a guy that I just know gets a lot of opportunities, even if it's not the same 2024 where he scores a million gazillion touchdowns, he gets volume, and that matters. He may not get a million touchdowns, but I don't need him to get a million touchdowns. I need him to be my running back. I need him to, be like the 12th best guy. Not asking for a lot. Trey McBride, Josh Allen, and Marvin Harrison Jr. are the last 3 picks. I have one more person picking in front of me. There's a ton of wide receivers available. That interests me a lot. But if I don't go get the running back now, I may have some really dookie running backs So I'm thinking my best approach here would be to grab a Breece Hall or Kyron Williams and hope James Cook or Amari Hampton come back to me so I could have a little bit of depth at that position and figure out where I'm going to go from there. Breece Hall is taken. I don't love taking Kyron Williams, but I'm going to take Kyron Williams. It's not that I don't love taking him. I would have rather had Breece Hall more, but I don't really get to have that choice, unfortunately, in this draft. So I'm going to take the guy that's available. Right now, week 8 is a bad bye week for me. So I'm going to try to avoid maybe grabbing like a Ken Walker later on because that could kind of screw with my team. But for now, I'm not going to worry too much about bye weeks. If I get multiple wide receivers with a week 10 bye, that's okay. Not a big deal. We can work around that. I don't want to have two of like my better running backs being on a bye week at the same time because then I'm really trying to pick hairs just for 1 week and I don't want to do that. Pick hairs. I should be saying split hairs. What am I saying? So after I take Kyron Williams, Garrett Wilson, the man who got paid today, Terry McLaurin, Devontae Adams, and Lamar Jackson fall off the board after that. Lamar at 311 is a good pick. I'm going to say that. Lamar at 311, that was a good pick. He's got Nico, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson. That's a good group. JSN is the next player off the board, and now we're starting round 4 just like that. Again, if you're tuned in, if you're locked in, you've been watching since the beginning of the stream, thank you so much for watching. If you just tuned in, thanks for stopping by. If you like fantasy football content, make sure you hit that like button down below, and feel free to subscribe so you don't miss any videos on this channel. Here we have George Kittle coming off the board at the 402. This team is very well balanced, if I do say so myself. Kittle in round 4, Lamar in round 3, Henry in round 2, and Nico Collins with his first round pick. That's a nice little foundation he's got there. I gotta be honest. Jaden Daniels, usually I don't have an opportunity to draft. I shouldn't draft him because I need James Cook more. DJ Moore is a value, though. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. What? What am I supposed to do? This is tough. There's just going to be more wide receivers later. I have to take James Cook now. I really, it makes me sick to think that I can't take DJ Moore here. And I could have, but it just makes getting the running back so much more difficult later. I would have much rather had DJ Moore there, and it would have been more of a standing on business thing for me to get DJ Moore. But I don't trust Kyron enough. I don't. I feel like I needed something else. And that something else was James Cook. I would have been rather happier to get a James Cook and then a wide receiver on the way back. But I felt the ADP game creeping up on me. I felt like I was taking James Cook a little too early. Kyron Williams was still available. Get both the running backs. And when it comes back to me in 9 picks, I can get another Bears wide receiver. I can get a Jawan Jennings. We'll talk about that one, though. We'll talk about that one. That one might be a little interesting. May or may not be a topic of conversation in the next Outlier Fantasy video, which is dropping tomorrow, by the way. So make sure you're on the lookout for that. If you're not subscribed, yeah, you're probably going to want to be subscribed for that. Ted McMillan off the board at pick 47. And we're just 7 more picks away until I get another chance to grab a wide receiver. I am one of the few teams with only one wide receiver, but you know what? At least mine's not DK Metcalf. Yeah, he's got Josh Allen and 2 really good running backs, but I got 2 pretty good running backs and a Brock Bowers. So, hey, I like them apples. Here I'm thinking Zay Flowers would be a nice pick. Travis Hunter, it's not a bad pick, but I don't love it. Jalen Waddle would be an absolute steal, so I don't think I'm going to land him. But we'll see what happens. There are wide receivers here, which makes me feel like I made the right decision. of not trying to take a Kamara or Ken Walker. Because there's just a little more options here. For sure. Pantera, thank you for joining the stream. I truly appreciate that. It is kind of dead, but I am going to be honest. You can get away with this. You can get away with this. I would be afraid to get away with this. And then history would tell you could get away with this, but I'm just not too sure. So yeah, you are right. This is the dead zone. Maybe you get another good season out of this one. But yeah, it's the dead zone. I mean, look at the wide receivers we can pick from here. We have Rome Odunze, Zay Flowers. If you're a Calvin Ridley guy, there's Calvin Ridley here. George Pickens is available if you like George Pickens. But if you know me, I'm a big Zay Flowers guy. So we're taking Zay Flowers. When it comes back, I don't mind taking a running back. But here's the thing. Like Pantera just said, we're in the dead zone. We're in the dead zone. We all acknowledge that. We also, well, not we. Well, we should know. Tomorrow you'll all know. When you watch the video tomorrow, this guy and this guy have yet to sign a contract with the team that drafted them. Now, that could mean nothing. But what it also could mean is 1 and 2 could also fall behind in the depth chart and trying to make that immediate impact week 1. And someone's going to use their 6th round pick right now or 5th round pick on a guy like RJ Harvey that maybe he's not going to play right away. Maybe there's a possibility he does hold out. And that's kind of scary. That's kind of scary to think that we've been just mocking on Underdog all off season long, all carefree and whatnot. And here we are with this reality that may come to fruition by the end of this week or even early next week when every team's back at training camp. These rookies have yet to sign a deal. Whether they're all lining up to protect each other to get paid or not, they could be seriously behind the 8 ball or on track to get their starting job. Like another guy. We're going to talk about him in the video tomorrow. Luther Burden III. Now, Luther Burden III is a guy that, just like the running backs I mentioned, has yet to sign a deal. But to make things worse, has a lower leg tissue injury on top of that. So now we're talking about a guy that could maybe be on track for week 1, but even if he was on track for week 1, he doesn't have a contract. Like, these are things that are a little bit dangerous in this round 6 tier that we're going in, where we're taking players that maybe they're not there week 1. It's a little scary. I'm not sure if I am a big fan of that. I would rather stay away from those guys. Another one that's kind of in that range, like I said, we would talk about Jawan Jennings here. Jawan Jennings is demanding contract or get me out of there. So I don't know if I really want to, take part in all that. I don't think that that's going to be something I want to invest in. These guys that maybe they're not there all year long, I don't want to trust it. I'm going to take Chris Godwin. I need a receiver. And I'm just getting guys that are playmakers that know how to get themselves open in an offense. I trust it. When it comes back to me, I know I don't need a tight end because I have Brock Bowers. I can try to maybe get an Isaiah Pacheco. We obviously don't want to draft this guy for obvious reasons, of course. And if we don't get one of those guys, then we're really looking at a dead zone where we fall off and have to get somebody that may just even lose their job. I think you're right. I think there's going to have to be some kind of rule change. I mean, this is the first time that this is because of a, you know what I mean? Like, because of a rule change. Now, you're probably right. We are going to have some kind of rule in place that says, you need to be signed by a certain day. But for right now, it's kind of a gray area. And I'm not going to say you're wrong, but I'm going to say there is, whether it's a 0.5% chance or not, there's that chance that maybe the guy isn't ready to play week 1. Maybe there's a chance that the coach would rather play the guy who's been at practice all summer long. You know what I'm saying? There's so many different things that have to kind of unravel in real time for us to know for sure. But at least us having the conversation of there's a chance that these rookies don't play right away, that's, at least enough. I did enough on my part to feel like we're trying to draft cautiously here. Maybe you won't go rush to grab the R.J. Harvey or the Travion Henderson. Maybe we'll just take DeAndre Swift and David Montgomery as they come along, and that's okay. Personally, I don't think I'm going to not draft R.J. Harvey because of this situation, because I think he's a really talented running back. But what I will say is I'm way more inclined on drafting J.K. Dobbins now than I was a week ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, a guy like Sean Payton, he's going to, no matter what, make sure that the guys that play and practice for him, they all get a chance to play. We saw how that was in Denver last year. Audric Estime one day was taking all the backfield touches, and we all thought he was the starter, and that wasn't true. So take it with a grain of salt, but be more open to drafting these other guys as handcuffs, like Ramondre Stevenson also. We are 2 picks away, well, 1 pick away. I could get Isaiah Pacheco or DeAndre Swift. I would love either one of those. Isaiah Pacheco just went. That's a great pick. Shouts out to you, sir. Salute you. I'm going to take DeAndre Swift. I think in an offense that should be a lot better, there should be more receptions and more opportunities for this guy. And on top of that, before we even talk about it being a better offense, they need to get to the red zone. And I think that you're going to see a 180 difference of an offense that really couldn't move the ball that much to an offense that is capable, league average. And if that's the case, then DeAndre Swift would be a really good running back to have in fantasy at his ADP. I think top 20, 25 is definitely in the range of outcomes. When it comes back to me, if I don't take Baker Mayfield, I'm probably not going to get a quarterback that I love. But I'm okay with not getting a quarterback I love if I'm going to fill out my team with running backs, receivers, positional players that are going to get the jobs done for me. Quinshon Judkins. He's taking a chance. He's taking a chance on that, man. I respect it. Where's our big board? There we go. Who's some interesting guys? I'm like, damn, he went there. I mean, Jacoby at 7-2 is really good. I did want him, and maybe I should have just reached for him, but I thought Chris Godwin there was a better value. Brian Robinson Jr., and then there's 3 more picks till I go. Ideally, Michael Pittman Jr. would be nice here. I would get on board with that. Jaden Higgins is another guy that's booming up the ADP market. It's kind of interesting. This guy's surging up. Well, I shouldn't really say that. He's kind of been floating around here. I don't know. I'm not down with it. You're going to take Josh Downs. I'm going to take the number 1 wide receiver in Indy. So, thank you for doing that. I love that you want to be big brain and take the big chance on the young shiny object, but I'm going to draft the $100 million guy. I'm just saying. I'm going to draft the guy that got paid. I'm going to draft the guy that they know has to get the first rep of the targets. The target hog, the 100-and-something targets are going to Michael Pittman Jr. first, and then Josh Downs could have whatever he wants after that. Baker Mayfield is gone, and so is Bo Nix. So now my quarterback options are looking scurry. I think Dak and Caleb is a good little stack. I could stack Dak with CeeDee Lamb, so if I have a great year from Lamb, that helps. Can't imagine anyone else wanting a Dak Prescott stack, so I think that one's going to be mine. A lot of good players still left. This guy's jumping. I think we need to talk about this one. I was totally on board with grabbing him as a, RB 35 plus down the list. But if we're going to start drafting him closer to like RB 30, I don't know if I think it's a value anymore. I was in love with the idea of buying low and getting maybe a starting running back at his ADP, but now I may just, talked about this guy. I didn't talk about this guy, but we'll get there. I could get this guy. You know what I mean? I feel a little bit better about those, to be honest. And it doesn't cost me as much as this. There's like a chance you can grab Jaden Higgins. Brock Purdy is gone now. Wow. I may have to go quarterback if I want Caleb and Dak. I think I'm just going to go for Dak. If I don't get the quarterback now, I'm kind of putting myself at risk because people have already drafted 2 quarterbacks, which is maniacal, to say the least. Maniacal. So, they're mock drafts because even though they're best ball drafts, we're really just practicing for what real drafts are. And I feel like having a computer automatically or do some kind of randomizer to say, like, this guy goes here versus grabbing a mock draft where it's like, oh, you know what? Jamar Chase is available at 2, and I'm not going to pick him because I pick Saquon Barkley or Bijan Robinson. Like, those are just not realistic. At least I know that I'm playing against real people, and that just feels a little more realistic of a mock draft than calling it a best ball league. You get what I'm saying? I don't really play it for the best ball and the money aspect. It's really more so for the team building. How can I build the best team possible in a 12-man draft? How can I build the best possible team in a 10-man, in a 14-man, and so on? Normally, you can't go past 12 on Underdog, which is fine. I really don't draft more than 10, 12 anyway. I think it's a little more realistic and accurate than, say, you went on Fantasy Pros or you went on Sleeper. A lot of people, they'll just do whatever. There's no money attached to it. They don't care. When it comes back to me, taking a look, Travis Kelce is just sitting there. I'm not saying I need Travis Kelce, but I don't know. This is, these 2 people actually, 1 and 2, they don't watch the videos, I'll tell you that. They're not going to watch my videos, and it shows in who they draft. This is not one of the tournaments. No, there's like, here, I could show you. There are, if you go to drafts, you can just draft 10-man, 6-man, 12-man, whatever, and you just play for a prize. Really, I'm not playing for the prize exactly. It's more of like I'm practicing for fantasy football drafts. Yeah, it's 12-man, and then whoever scores the most points out of everyone is first place, and so on. Whoever scores second most, second place. Travis Kelce's off the board, so it's not an option anymore. I can double up and get Caleb Williams. I need a running back, though. Give me Scatterboo. I like Cam Scatterboo. I think he's going to provide a layer to the running game for the Giants that they have not had before. And what I mean by that is Devin Singletary was supposed to be that guy that was going to punch it in goal-to-go situations to get the job done. And Tyrone Tracy had to split that with him. And even though Tyrone Tracy wasn't the best guy and Devin Singletary was better, they're bringing in a guy now in Scatterboo that, no, he's not known for being a power back, but is somebody that is kind of like that, like Doug Martin, like mighty mouse roll that can just roll over people or just has like this little quick twitch to him, and I think he's just going to fit in well with the Giants offense. I think Tyrone Tracy is still better than him right now. I just think Cam Scatterboo provides a different dynamic to their offense that they haven't had. Looking at who's available now and best available players, There are some good wide receivers here. No, definitely not. If I was playing $100 tournament buy-ins, then it really ain't practice. That's really sweating it out, and then I would be broke and I wouldn't be able to do these live streams every Monday. So that's probably why I stick with like my little $5, $3 lineups. Just trying to get some mocks out, get some different exposure, try to draft different players, see what works and see what doesn't work. Really, if I try different strategies, go QB early, try grabbing two wide receivers early. Just trying to figure out what I think works the best for me so that when I'm drafting in September, I know exactly what I want to do. I have a plan, and if my plan doesn't go according to plan, I can pivot because I've practiced how to pivot in a spot where somebody takes someone that you really wanted. It's all about just preparing to be uncomfortable. Ramondre Stevenson is gone. Maybe someone I could have considered at running back, but I probably won't. I do see Tajay Spears. I'm interested in that. I still need another quarterback. Justin Herbert's there. That's a pretty fine quarterback option if I say so myself. However, I see multiple quarterback options I like and very few running back options I like. So I'm going to prioritize running back here, take quarterback after, and then figure out what my backup tight end is going to be. I would love to have Justin Herbert on the way back. Realistically, that's not going to be the case. I'm really more so probably looking in that CJ Stroud territory, and I'm totally fine with that. Let's go. Let's see how our big board's looking here. Christian Kirk is off the board, followed by Javonte Williams. And yeah. Any of you guys still watching have any fantasy football questions of your own? Now is the time to ask. Don't be afraid to ask. No such thing as a stupid question. Maybe one day, if we have more viewers and more people that want to get interactive with the stream and want to actually do some kind of mock draft on Sleeper together, I would love to do that. Obviously, just need participants, and then we could do it. I do need a quarterback. Pantera, appreciate you. Have a good night. Thank you so much for joining the stream. Really do appreciate it. Hope to see you back. Kyle Williams is off the board here, and I got 3 more picks to go, and we'll see how it goes. Love CJ Stroud here. I think that's a great value. We have how many more rounds to go? Still some time before I look for another lobby. Tight ends are going. Jake Ferguson and Dalton Kincaid back to back. I'm getting CJ Stroud. Let's go. That's massive. That's massive. I'm so hyped. Oh my God. That's big. Blacking at wide receiver. But you know what? I don't even care. I don't even care. Not even a little bit. Because the truth is, Brock Bowers, he might as well be a flex. You know what I mean? If I had a Isaiah Likely who turned out being a good tight end, then Brock Bowers is basically just a flex. He puts up the crazy points. Puntos come in bunches with Brock Bowers. Xavier Legette is sitting there, and you guys know how much I like Xavier Legette. If I could get a chance to draft him, I would be set in this draft. I would be so lit right now. I mean, like, look at this list. That's the guy. I mean, I like this guy. Other guys I have no interest in. None of these. Actually, he's low-key, sneaky, and he just gets a bunch of targets. But everyone else, nah. This is it. This is it right here. I'm even going to make sure I go back and double up and grab Adonai Mitchell too, because why not? I need receivers. I need young receivers. I need talented receivers. I need to fill out this roster. Got the running backs. That's done. Check that one off. Not a single one has the same bye week. Great job. Ain't got to worry about no bye weeks. We're good. Jaden Blue would be an awesome pick, but I divvied up too much at running back. So worried about getting a guy that I didn't even realize I had the guys. I know I was asking the homies before if they had any home run derby updates. I hope nobody forgot about me with some home run derby updates because I would really appreciate that. I'm not going to be able to watch because I'm going to be mock drafted all night until maybe the thunderstorm knocks my power out. Who knows? Got 2 more picks to go till I can pick. And I would love Xavier Legette here. Cedric Tillman is also a nice player. But I would rather Xavier Legette. 1 more pick. He's just got to last 1 more pick. Jaden Blue is such a good player. I think you need Jaden Blue, sir. I think you need to do that. I think that makes the most sense. I am looking at some tight ends in case I try to pivot off Legette. I don't think I'm going to pivot off Legette. There we go. Not going to pivot. Sticking with my guns. That's my guy. I'm sticking with it. I'm looking for a tight end that tickles my fancy. And some that come to mind are this one. Maybe this one. I'm starting to be turned to the idea of it. I hope T-Kel is here. If T-Kel is in this stream, you're trying to persuade me. I'm seeing it, seeing the stars align, but I'm just not there yet. I could be there in a couple weeks. Not saying I won't be there. Not saying I'm a Jonnu denier, because last year I was the Jonnu truther, but now I don't know. Still kind of on the fence about it. What are your guys' thoughts about Jonnu Smith in Pittsburgh teaming up with his former coordinator that gave him his breakout season in Tennessee, Arthur Smith? You know Arthur Smith said, dude, go get that guy. You know the Steelers need a guy that's going to catch like 5-6 passes over the middle. So it makes sense. But history tells us that top 10 tight ends normally don't carry over year to year. And that scares me. That makes me not want to draft Jonnu Smith for that reason, even though Jonnu Smith is a very good football player. There are many guys that don't get to repeat. The only guys that really do carry over year to year are the elite guys. The Travis Kelce's, the George Kittles, I don't even know if TJ Hawkinson has done it recently. Mark Andrews has done it maybe once repeated or twice repeated. He's not a guy that even gets in the top 10 that often himself. So if Mark Andrews can't finish consistently in that top 10 every year, why am I going to bet on Jonnu Smith to finish in that top 10 year over year consistently? That's just my opinion. Those reasons make me like Brenton Strange a little more. We have a guy in Brenton Strange that is looking to build off of a really good season last year, and the starting tight end has now moved on, which gives him the opportunity to step right into this role and thrive. I like Brenton Strange. I think it's a really good draft pick. Unfortunately, not going to take Jonnu Smith, but I really want to turn to the idea of maybe one day having him on my team. Dante Thornton. I think this is another guy we're unsure if he's going to end up signed or not. I'm going to draft Keenan Allen. I never do something like this, but the truth is, the only thing that can really save my team at this point if things go bad is a wide receiver that emerges out of nowhere. Whether that's Xavier Legette, Michael Pittman Jr., maybe Chris Godwin picks up from 2024, But I think Keenan Allen signing with a team that's competitive, that needs a wide receiver, could be exactly what I'm looking for. I don't think, like, getting cute or maybe drafting someone that I think is going to take a step forward, like an Alec Pierce or a Michael Wilson, is going to help me unlock the potential of my team. But a veteran free agent wide receiver, that could do something for me. That or a DeAndre Hopkins going off some weeks, that could do it for me. But I'm going to go Keenan Allen. I don't think anybody has thoughts to grab Keenan Allen. I have 2 tight ends with the same bye week. I'm going to have to grab another guy. Maybe Jonnu Smith, maybe Kyle Pitts. How many more picks do I have? I have 4 more picks. So you know what? Let's start getting into another lobby. That's very important. We got to keep the viewers happy. I got to keep my viewers very happy. I'm going to wait. I don't want to draft twice, like 2 different lobbies at the same time. Need to make sure I get this one done first, and then we can move on. I mean, Jonnu Smith's there. I might just have to take him. It's a lot better for me to take a Jonnu Smith than potentially, going Keenan Allen and it doesn't work. At least I know this is something I need right now. And then Keenan Allen could be something I need later on. Looking for just anybody that could be like a spot starter for me in this lineup as a wide receiver. I think those are going to be the 3 that I queue up. Yeah, I have 3 more picks. Nah, I'm going to go, if I have 3 more picks, I need to take some kind of quarterback. But there's really nobody here that I'm like, yeah, he's got to be the starter, down the road. Yeah, no, I'm not going to take quarterback. I'm going to get Keenan Allen. I'm going to grab Tyler Lockett, and Adonai Mitchell. Perfect. All right, we're going on autopilot. We're going to go into the next draft, boys. Let's go. No huddle offense, and we're beat. I'm just going to go on the $5 one. It's going to fill faster. Okay. Taking myself off autopilot because we don't really need it. Don't need it. I definitely don't need it. Oh, wow. Someone took Keenan Allen before me. Damn. That hurts. I'm going to go Tyler Lockett. I need a guy. I do need a guy. I'll take Tyler Shaw. It's a starter. May not be a good one, but he's probably going to be a starter. Now I could go on autopilot, get out of this lobby, and get into the next one. I'm going to leave that one. Maybe there's one that's filling up a little faster now. Nope. It's a slow timer. That's not going to help me out. Chat, is anyone opposed? Speak now or forever hold your peace. I don't want to do it, but it's going to fill a little faster. You guys be the judge. Do I get a pass? Or do I not get a pass on a 10-man? Let me know now. I won't do it. But if you want me to do it, I will. And if you don't say no, I might do it anyway. I'm going to do it anyway. Nobody said no. Nobody said, dude, what are you doing? Stop that right now. So I'm gonna let it rock. If you guys have been tuned in the entire stream, thank you so much for watching. If you just stopped by to say what's up, thanks for stopping by. But I have not heard it back from anyone watching the Home Run Derby after I was promised some updates on the Home Run Derby, and I haven't heard a single one. And if I gotta go to Google to find out what's going on with the Home Run Derby, Turtle from Outlier Fantasy is not gonna be happy about that. He'll get over it, but he's not gonna be happy about it. I am waiting for 4 more people to fill in, and then we can start drafting, boys. The show can start then. Till then, we're just gonna have to wait and hang out. If you got any fantasy football questions, now's the time to ask. Don't be shy. No such thing as a stupid question, you know what I'm saying? Did not even realize 2 new subscribers on the stream. Have a feeling I know those 2 new subscribers. And if I'm right, thank you for the subs. Really appreciate that. Make sure you tune in tomorrow because there's a new video dropping. That's going to be a good one. We have 3 more people before we fill in, and then we're rolling. We're drafting. It's going to get exciting. It's going to get exciting. Big trust. I got 3 more people to fill in. If I don't get 3 more people in the next couple minutes, I'll just log off. I can feel that vibe. The chat is not chatting. Chat's not being chatty. No chatty catties in this building. Give it a couple more seconds. Someone's not going to be like, I'm here, I'm here. Tuning out. We out of here. Even if I don't see like another person join, like, oh, so annoying. I guess this is what Jason was really referring to, where like this is kind of like the sucky part of calling a best ball a mock draft. I just think this is still the best way to kind of get a feel of how other people in the fantasy football community are drafting. I think it's more accurate than going online and just filling out some kind of computer program. That's just me, though. All right, chat. I think we're cooked here. Not going to lie. We got some subs. We got some new viewers. Definitely got some new people in here. I could say that I did a job well done. Could do better. But hey, we'll leave that up for next Monday to decide. I'm going to sign out. New video tomorrow, 4 p.m. Make sure you're watching. I'm going to back out of this lobby because it's almost like I have a blank screen, like a frozen screen, like nothing's even happening. Nobody's even joining at this point. So yeah, let's call it a night. I will see you guys again next Monday. Make sure you're tuned in. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Turtle. This is Outlier Fantasy, and I will see you next Monday.